Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? So, today is September 29th, 2022. And I just figured I'd come hang out with you for a bit. Still not on a live. I'm still shy about that, nervous about that. And I want to wait. I was actually telling Samantha from Amethyst Craftworks, hi Samantha, that I want to get a different laptop first. I've discovered recently that, because I didn't want to do it on my phone, by the way. I know I'm already like launching into a side story, sorry. I didn't want to do it on my phone. I was going to do it on like my laptop with that has a camera on it. But my laptop, I didn't realize how much of an old dinosaur it was. I got a notification because I rarely use it anymore because I have like my gaming computer for like World of Warcraft and Hearthstone when I'm gaming and stuff like that, when I'm watching YouTube. And I do most of my editing like on my phone and recording on my phone for the most part. And when I'm not, I have a small like video camera that David had, and then I have my computer for that. So my laptop has been mostly dormant, like unless there's something I really need. So I just went through, did like a bunch of the updates for it that I didn't keep up on because I hadn't turned it on. And then I got a notification that said, I can't remember the wording, but we're basically discontinuing updates for this computer for this Windows, for this computer in like January or February of 2023. And the actual Windows notification says that they suggest getting a new computer. So it's pretty old. It was just like a Black Friday sale, but a really long time ago. And when you just don't use something as often, like that often, you just don't realize how old it is. Like it's worked and lasted me, but so I think I'll wait till I get a different laptop before I do a live. So anyway, the point of the video was just I thought I would spend some time with you guys. It's my day off, and if it weren't one of my normal days off, I always take the 29th of September off. It is two special anniversaries for me today. It is my mom's birthday, who has been gone for a while, and it is also my Winston's birthday, who has been gone now for 2 years and 148 days. I counted out. So he passed away on May 4th of 2020. So, and Winston was my dog. If you guys, I know you guys are more familiar, who have been around more recently, are more familiar with Abby and maybe even with Lindy. Lindy was our other girl dog that passed away a little bit before Abby. She was the older girl. But Winston, for those of you who've been around for several years now, know that was before I was ever with David, before I ever got divorced, Winston was mine. And he was my baby. He was I've always called him my furry little soulmate. He was the love of my life. I always referred to him as my son. Everyone has, always, I assume you all always love your pets, but I think everyone has that special pet. That was Winston for me. He wasn't my first pet, but he was my special. He was mommy's boy. Sorry, very dry today. It's dry in here. It's very dry mouthed today. I went and took Damon to work, and I ended up spending some time there even on my day off because my BFF Seth was there. So I hung out with him for a little bit while he was doing his office paperwork. So anyway, but yeah, I thought I'd just hang out with you guys, chit chat. And I thought I would frog one of my, if you have watched my Ancient Whips videos, you know I have a couple that I was gonna frog. Like most of them I decided to finish or change up and finish, which I have an update on another one coming up pretty soon. I'm almost done with. I've been working on several of those, but this was, if you're familiar with the graph that I had made of my friend's band Fozzy, I had started another blanket of their logo. So I'm going to tuck the logo back because one day I will get to that again. But in the meantime, I had started, if I can get this tangle, it's not a very big start. I mean, it's long, but it's not, remember this, where I had started this long strip and there was part of the, this is either the Y or the F, and this is the other part right here. So I had started graphing it out, and I was just using, this is probably the red heart, like gray heather or whatever it's called. And then this is just a red heart black. I had another whole ball of it that I thought was also attached at the time, and then I discovered it wasn't. So I've actually already reclaimed that. I thought it was attached. It was not. I took it and it's becoming, part of it has already became part of a blanket because I decided to use it up instead of taking another red heart with love, because I was like, it'll be okay. It'll soften up when I wash it. So, and it'll be fine. But, and then part of it is being used for just some granny squares that I'm making, which you will see soon. But yeah, so that was the big, like, one of the big skeins of it, the jumbos or whatever they're called. I already took that back. And this is what's attached to it. So we're gonna frog this baby and get this yarn back so I can, I think this is like the only skein of this that I have. So I don't know, either wait until this is actually pretty soft comparatively to the gray heather or whatever it's called, is pretty soft compared to like the black red heart, which is kind of odd to me. But I guess first I'll have to start by untangling. This spent its life in just a plastic bag. It was like a gas station, basically a Walmart bag, but it was a gas station one. So, and I'm not even sure, I don't think I carried the gray through. I think it's a separate, I think I used yarn from the outside and the inside. So this should be interesting, frogging it. But we may end up with a mess that I am not enjoying untangling, or it may be easy. We'll see. Okay, so apparently I did carry the black underneath it. Luckily, that's where that ended. So the black carries on, but the gray just goes to the next line. So that's good. At least I made it easy, like past Heather was thinking about future Heather. Anyway, so, yeah, I just thought I would spend some time with you. Like I said, I already said that part. Because I like to try not to dwell on the fact that you guys know I have spent plenty of time crying in front of this camera, unable to completely hold in my emotions about it. But I try not to. I mean, Winston would not want me just sitting here being sad about it, about him being gone. So I try not to be. I try to celebrate his life. It's been easier whenever the girls were here, because I used to go, we have a place in town that is just a dog place. It sells fancy dog treats that they bake. It sells like lots of different dog toys. It sells like nice dog food, like gourmet dog food and food that's really good for your dogs, for healthy lifestyles and healthy weight and all that kind of stuff. It's they sell like items, like I have a magnet on my car still that says I love my Airedale, because Winston's an Airedale, which actually it faded, and like the heart, the little red heart in it faded, and Damon bought me a second one. So I have 2 of them up there. And I still have them. I don't even own an Airedale anymore, but I still love my Airedale. So yeah, you know. But it sells all sorts of stuff anyway like that. Like, people have gotten me, I have a keychain with an Airedale on it. Actually, Damon got me that too. But people have gotten me like a pen with an Airedale on it that came from that store, just because they were like, this reminded me of Winston, you should have it, you know. It's very sweet of them. And like at like Christmas time, they sell like stockings, both for your dog and like with dog breeds on. It's just a cool place. So like I would go down, and even after he passed away, I would get like his favorite treats and things like that. So the girls could celebrate. And like, even though obviously like I'm crazy in the aspect that I always talk to my dogs. I'm not obviously crazy, like I don't think they talk back to me or anything. I feel like they understood me, but I don't feel like, yeah, I'm not saying they talk back to me, but like we would sit and talk about Winston, meaning I would talk at them, you know, and be like, remember your brother always liked these treats, like this was his favorite, and he'd always be like licking the peanut butter off of the roof of his mouth, or whatever, you know, whatever the case may have been. So like we'd just remember him. And so it was easier that way. I mean, I can't go do that now, because now Lindy and Abby are both gone too, so I can't do that. I have Ophelia, my corn snake, but Ophelia always stays upstairs. Even if like I have her out handling her, I don't really like take her around the house or anything. She's not that social. She's one-on-one social, but like her and like Abby being curious and stuff, Ophelia did not really like that. Winston was very curious too. He was always like a big cat. It was so like crazy. In fact, like other animals, especially like smaller animals than him, would be scared of him because of his size. Because like, I don't know if you're familiar with Airedales, but they're quite big. They're called the king of all terriers, I think, or something like that, because of their size. And you know, I always said it was because they were quite regal too, like the way they stand. Their stance is kind of like a big Scotty dog. Like if you're familiar with how Scotty dogs stand, their stance is similar to that, like the way they look, but they're very big compared to Scotty dogs. So Winston would scare smaller dogs because they would think, you know, oh, I have to be scared of him, I have to protect myself. So any like smaller animal would try to be big and bossy with him, and Winston would let them boss him around. Like he was always like, maybe not getting hurt bad, but he'd be like getting whapped in the nose, and like he'd back off and be like, why, you know, like, Mom, why is this guy bapping me in the nose? Or, you know, he didn't understand it because he just wanted to be like up in their grill, like talking to them and sniffing on them and seeing what was going on. He was a very curious guy. So Ophelia did not want any of that. So she didn't really mingle with him, so I can't really feed her his treats anyway. So, and she doesn't have a lot of memories with him. So there's nobody to share that with as far as the animals left. So it's more me celebrating with him, with his memory, and with you guys who are putting up with me sitting here frogging through projects and and talking about him. But yeah, he was a good boy. Winston was a good boy. And yeah, I really miss him a lot. I miss him every day. Like there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss him and talk to him. And you know how it is. I'm sure. And didn't really plan out specifically what I was going to say besides frogging, besides frogging this project, I guess. And then I got onto the tangent about talking about Winston, of course, because that's why I'm here. But, yeah, if I think about it, of course, I'll probably be popping up some pictures of him through the video so you guys can see my little man. If you've been around the channel, I'm sure you've probably already seen them, both in like the video that I put up talking about him originally, like when he had passed, and then usually each year during either during the anniversary of like his passing or during his birthday time, I usually talk about him some too. So I'll put up pictures of him here and there. And sadly, like I have one picture of him when he was a puppy that is like my favorite picture of him ever. It was when my ex-husband and I went to New York, because that's where my in-laws live. My ex-in-laws, I should say. Happy to say that. And I'm not gonna bash anybody, but my ex-mother-in-law, once we got there, she was not a fan of Winston and his cute little face. I don't know how anybody couldn't be, but that's fine. And she made him sleep on her porch, which at least her porch was like a covered, it was like an inside porch kind of, at least. But it wasn't like, it wasn't warm or anything. It wasn't comfy. Like I felt bad, but it was a cute picture that we took where he was like, he had jumped up and it was like a glass door at the top, or probably plastic, but it was a see-through door at the top. And he was like just looking in the window, like just, Mom, let me in, you know. But it was the cutest picture. He was the cutest boy. He's a very handsome boy. But yeah, there's not a lot of pictures because way back in the day, I didn't have, my first cell phone was, my first smartphone was like a slider Android phone. It didn't take very good pictures as it was, and I wasn't very into at the time, like backing up things. I don't think my first cell phone even had like one of the like cards to save things on or anything like that. And the pictures that I did save were on a digital camera, which I think somewhere, buried somewhere, I may actually still have the camera, but I know for a fact the ex-husband had the cards that were with it. And he had the copy, well, the hard copy or whatever you want to say, the digital copy of Winston's pictures. So all the pictures I had of him as a baby, my ex-husband told me that he would get me copies of, and that was a lie. So I don't have a lot of pictures of Winston that I know I had taken. So I have a lot of him as an old man, and I have a lot of him like growing up later, but like his younger years, there's a lot that I wish I had, but can't change that, right? But yeah, so what I do have, anyway, the point was you'll probably see a lot of the same just because like I have what I have, you know. So, but they'll be in here, I'm sure, as long as I remember to insert them. And hopefully you guys agree that my little man was very, very dapper looking, very stunning looking. I think he was a good looking boy. He would have been 18 today if I didn't say that. So he would have been, pretty sure that's still old enough to vote. Used to be old enough to smoke. Not that he would have, I'm sure. Winston would not have been a smoker. But you never know. Kids these days. Yeah, so I still have my my candles lit for him. No, I've never not had my candles lit for him. I think Walmart's the cheapest place I found those at, like the 7-day candles, and they're probably very happy with me because I keep them in business with buying those. They're cheaper than at like any like metaphysical type witchy stores though, because when you get them there, they're very pricey comparatively. Like at Walmart, you can get them, at least my Walmart, you can get them for like $2 or less. And then with David, I get my discount, so that works out great. I thought I could maybe find them on like Amazon or something in bulk and maybe find them even cheaper, but I haven't had any luck with that. Like Walmart seems to be like the cheapest, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So otherwise though, like in other news, if you have not seen on their social media page, talking some Yarny things, the Lion Brand social media has been abuzz with some Stranger Things stuff. I know I posted about it. Some of you lovelies told me about it, and I immediately went to go check. And they are going to release, it looks like, a line of Stranger Things yarn. I hope it's yarn. I assume it's yarn. It seems to be yarn. We'll see. I guess I can't say that it's going to be yarn yet. Because we won't know. But they did say things are getting stranger October 3rd. And so look for things to change that day. So I'm getting pretty excited about that. I think I will die if I don't get all the colors of that. I got really excited because the update said something, I can't quote it without it being in front of me, but it said something about doing it with an 80s flair or something. So I'm hopeful and curious if they're going to try to do some like 80s type colors, like maybe some variegated stuff that we haven't seen since the 80s. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Like instead of trying to make colorways akin to Stranger Things, if they just make some 80s colors that we would have seen from the 80s, that would be very acceptable to me. But also, I mean, I would love to see, you know, like some stuff inspired by, like I'd love to see a Hopper yarn or a Dustin yarn or an Eddie yarn or any, you know, I'd love an upside down yarn, a Vecna yarn. I'd love to see any of that. So we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know that as soon as I can get my hands on it, I will show it to you guys and let you know what I think. And I am hoping and praying that I do not get disappointed. We'll see. Don't let us down, Lion Brand. Don't let us down. What else? What else is going on? Let's see. See, now we're getting to the Yarny talk, since you guys so kindly, if you're still here, have listened to me talk about my Winnie Pooh. What else? Oh, I did get through the gray, if you didn't see. It's one side of it anyway. I'm still working on the other side. The other side went down a little bit further, I guess. There's a couple more rows. I see Rose said she got her package, so I sent her a little something for wings from one of my patterns that I sent her. I made some sets for this month's donations. So, which, unless you can basically overnight it, I think at this point, because she really wants it in by the end of the month, you might have to start working. Next month is Lovies for you guys. If you wanted to start, Rose does like she's doing a year-long charity drive for Wings, which is a domestic violence. They help victims of domestic violence in her area in Chicago, the Chicagoland area. And this month was hat and cowl sets. So as you may know, I have a few patterns in my Etsy store, so I made some sets up to send her. And I was happy to see that she said she got it. I was nervous that it wouldn't get there in time. So she got those. So if you watch her updates, maybe she'll do another update with it in. I'm not sure, but you might be able to see what I made for her. And I don't know if I will be able to make a pattern of my own for some lovies by next month. It's like originally I had kind of wanted to, I will say. It was ambitious, I know. And I failed at it from the start, so I'm glad it wasn't like a announced plan of mine, I guess. But I had wanted, my intention had been, I wish I could have, let me say that. I wanted to make like a pattern for each donation thing that she was doing. Like the month beforehand, I wanted to release a pattern just so people could maybe have an additional choice of something to be making from it. And I just bit off a lot to do this year, I guess, and I had wanted to make patterns all this year. Next year I'm going to. Next year I'm going to. But that goal, if you watched my like goals for the year, I have not met a lot of them. I need to like go back and revisit them and see if there's any that I can catch up on at all, honestly. But patterns, I did not get. I did get one fully written out. I need to take some pictures of it, and that's the dragon tail, like shawlette that I have. The one that I said I probably wouldn't do a tutorial on, but I would release it as a pattern just because it's very like repetitive, and it would be a very, very long tutorial just to do the different steps for it. But the pattern itself is very easy. It'd probably be just a cheap pattern that I released. I just have to take pictures for it for the PDF and then release it, really. So I've sort of got one done, and if I could get it done by the end, like get the pictures in it by the end of the year, I would have one. But yeah, I fell very short on the goal to do that. My Make 9 I fell short on because I was busy doing other things. I have one of the Make 9s going right now, which I haven't shown on any of my, like, I didn't do a podcast or anything, but I haven't even shown it on any of my videos because I wasn't sure that I would get it done by the end of the year. Because, of course, I picked one of the bigger items. Of course I did. So we'll see. If not, maybe I'll just try to do my Make 9 from this year next year. Because they're all things that I want to do, and I have most of the yarn planned out for all of them anyway, so they'll still be on my to-do list. But yeah. Time gets away with you, doesn't it? It's like sometimes, I don't know, it does. But anyway, I appreciate you guys just sitting and chilling with me, even though this wasn't a live. Since I'm not doing any lives anytime soon until I get that laptop, if you want, I don't know if there's even anything question-wise that anybody cares about asking, but if you have any questions that aren't, like, I'm assuming nobody has anything personal anyway, but if you have any questions that aren't super personal, because, like, you guys know I don't answer, like, any kind of question about where I work. You already know that, because I can't. But if there's nothing super personal and you want to ask away in the comments, I could do another video answering them if you want, if there's enough of them to do a video about. I've seen some people do that before, so I could do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. I'm not that interesting, so I'm not that interesting, and I do try to answer people anyway. So I mean, I think a lot of, if anybody did have a random question, I've likely answered it, but if there's anything. I also, if you're still here, wanted to thank anybody that has left my last video where I showed you guys my my Eddie doll. Thank you so much. So many people left so many kind comments about that. I didn't expect even that many people to watch the video or comment, let alone how many nice things you guys said. That was so sweet. I was so nervous showing it. Like, I was really proud of it, but I know that I don't make good amigurumi or anything, and I also know that it's like from my own non-amigurumi making brain, so like I know it's not like a traditional pattern, or I'm sure things that I've done with it are not normal ways of doing things at all. So I'm sure he doesn't look the way he would do it if somebody properly designed him, or even if somebody who does amigurumis properly made him. But everybody was so kind and said so many nice things, and I appreciate that so much. Like, thank you. Made me feel so good. Like really good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I do one day want to do some more Stranger Things characters. So like I said, if I do that, and if I feel confident enough to at least jot down what I've done each time, I will. If nothing else, for myself, so that I can make more of them a little bit easier, maybe. Maybe it would be easier. I don't know. I'm like looking at, like, just as an example with Eddie's shoes. I don't even think the two shoes are the same. And looking at them right now, I don't know how I did them. Like, not fully, I guess. Maybe if I really sat and looked at them, I would. Like, because I do know, like, I know on the bottom, I chained this many and put this many stitches into each side of the chain. And all. I do know that, I guess. So, like, I guess if I really thought about it, it wouldn't be that hard. But I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. At the moment, I don't even want to think about doing it again or writing it down, because I can't believe it turned out as well as it did. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of him. Yeah. We're done with the gray. So I just have this black to do. And I am finding a lot of my hair that at some point I have crocheted into this. And there's some just sitting on it, so that might be for me right now, just pulling it out, but almost there, guys. Almost. I'm also trying to remember not to wind this ball of yarn too tight, since I'm winding the ball and not caking it up. Because, you know, if you wind it too tight, you like stretch it all out and you end up with kind of like a DK red heart that's not really very pleasant. Like, it's already kind of curly from being worked up, and like, that's okay. I mean, I frogged stuff like this before and then worked with it again, but you don't really want to like keep messing up the fiber either, you know. And then of course when you're winding it, you got to stop every so often, because I think especially because it's curly, it's going to like tangle up on itself, and you got to really watch that, or you're going to end up with knots. Like, I'm kind of scared this time I did too much. I'm going to end up with a knot. This might end up being a whole ball of a whole ball of Super Saver, and not just a partial, or of the jumbo. I mean, this is Super Saver. I also have my movie marquee video to do tonight, because I will have to have that, I'll have to have that out tomorrow if you guys are going to have the extra day to plan your stuff, right? I'll have it out tomorrow, so tomorrow will be the 30th instead of on the 1st. 'Cause I know some of you guys do like that extra day. I was going to have it out today, but Damon is going to come home tonight and draw the new one with me, I think. If he still feels like it. Depends on if he has a bad day at work, he might just come home and want to go to bed. But that was the plan. He's going to come... He's going to come home and do that. Do the drawing with me, so you guys get Damon in a video tomorrow. At least briefly. I did finish my movie marquee, so that's good. I was a little bit worried, because when I decided to make it bigger, I was a little bit, like, getting a little bit worried that I wouldn't finish it fully. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I thought I would be done frogging by now too. Honestly, I didn't think this video would end up being this long. And then, like I said, I didn't plan out. I didn't plan anything out either. Like, I just, you know, we're just free chatting here now, you guys. This is where the live would have been beneficial, right? But, so what are you guys up to? You should tell me that in the comments. What are you guys making? Ugh, I got fiber in my mouth. Oh, and speaking of packages, I did see that the Stranger Summer Mal winner, Christine, got her package. Sorry. Something very fibery right here. She got her package too, so that made it safely. So everything made it. Which makes me very happy. So I do have a couple more happy mails and packages that I want to send out coming up here, but that was like my send out for the week, and they both made it, so that makes me really happy. Yeah. I think unless anything falls through in the next month or so, because it won't be right away, it's going to be another it's going to be another month or two, but I think our little hen is gonna, well, he's not a hen, but I think our little Damon is gonna finally make it on his own. If you remember, I said he had moved in here. We're helping him out of a situation and stuff, but his room is very small. Like, I've talked about how small this room is, and his room is even smaller than this room. It's a very small room. And, like, he's fine with it because to help him save money, we've basically not, like, we had another roommate when he was moving in, so we had to charge him rent, but because of the difference in room sizes and stuff, we charged him very, very little because I wanted to help him out so he could, like, save money to get, like, on his own and on his feet and stuff like that. He's not had a lot of on his own time in his life, and I wanted that for him, you know, to help him. And you know, like, I didn't need the helping hand when I was a kid to get out on my own, but, like, had I needed it, my grandma would have, you know, she would have helped me. So I think, like, in times of need, you know, if you can help somebody, obviously I try to help, especially people I care about. And so we helped him. But I think he's gonna try to make a go of it. He's found a place that he might be able to go to. It's still with other roommates and all, so, like, it's not fully on his own, but it's not with me mother-henning him as much and all that. we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He's still right. He's like a few blocks away too. So I mean, it's not goodbye. Fully. But it's just another change that's coming up. He won't be, you know, he'll probably still be available in the middle of the night. I don't see him and I ever really changing our schedules, to be fully honest. Which before he moved in, we still hung out in the middle of the night. Just because that's when we were up and that's what we did. I think that's how we like bonded and became the friends that we have always been. I don't want to say like lack of other options, but, and not really. I mean, there's obviously other, like my friend Jamie, he's up late at night and stuff too, but, Damon and I have just always been really close since we met and stuff. But yeah, I think he's going to try to move out of his little Harry Potter broom closet and it'll be good for him. I just don't like change at all. And it will be kind of like an empty nest syndrome for David and I, because we're so used to him being here. And it's going to be weird for me because David works overnight, and my job, I work at night, but not fully overnight. Like, I'm home well before he gets home. I'm usually in bed just before he gets home. Like, he's home after the sun rises. And I have had Winston, Lindy, Abby, and Damon almost, well, the whole time. So, and when Damon leaves, I have nobody. Yeah, it's just going to be me in the house. I don't know how I feel about that. So we'll see. Lots of changes happening around here, I guess. We'll see. But anyway, I'm almost done here. Almost done. I think that I have probably talked your guys' ears off. It's been like a 40-some minute video here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and really listening to a lot of nothing, right? Just a lot of nothing. I appreciate you letting me talk about my Winston with you for the most part. Like, I know I did a lot of talking about him, but that's my way of keeping his memory alive too, I guess. And like I said, I do want to just celebrate his life rather than be just sad and miserable. Winston wouldn't want that. I know that he is waiting till we can be together and watching me, and it would make him really sad if I was just miserable and sad all the time. So yeah, thanks for listening about all of that stuff. Thanks to you guys who have listened to it on a yearly basis, actually. I doubly, triply appreciate that. Yeah. So anyway, I am probably just going to finish the last of this off camera, but you have basically finished another whip with me. We're just going to get rid of this one. I will be back shortly with my movie marquee update, with the drawing for next month, for October. Oh, it's October. Then we start Vlogtober too. You guys are going to be so sick of me. And then I had mentioned it, I think, in the last video. But any of you guys that have been like watching and not subscribed, we're like 89 people away from 3,000. So if you haven't, And if you like it here, what are you waiting for? Yeah, 3,000 would be really cool. We're a really fun bunch. You could subscribe and hit the notification bell. You would know when I post videos. That could be handy when Vlogtober comes up. It'll be every day though, spoiler alert. So, but I do post videos. Like sometimes I take a little break. This last week I took kind of a break, but otherwise I do tend to post videos every day. So yeah, stick around. You will like us, I think. So I'm still, you know what, while I got you here, while you guys are listening to me, I guess I could keep frogging too, but while you guys are listening to me, there's more. I'm still batting around the idea because a few people showed interest in this, but, you know that I'm still planning on doing like little chats about Stranger Things, and doing maybe like exploring some theories on things that could happen, or giving my opinions on things that have happened and what I'd like to see coming up. I can't do reactions because I've definitely already seen all of the seasons, but just some like chit-chatty stuff about it, I guess. Probably some fangirling over certain characters will be coming up, I'm sure. I have Nano coming up. So like I have a busy end of the year, right? I have Vlogtober is coming up, which if you're not familiar, Vlogtober means you'll be getting a video from me every day of October, much like Vlogust was, except I tend to have a little bit more stuff planned out. Like I'll be doing, as long as we pull our act together, I'll have a little bit of a 13 days of Halloween gift exchange going on with Courtney from Fiberfox Studios. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are familiar with Courtney and her lovely tutorials and patterns and such. And I will have a little something of Yarny goodness to open up for you as long as it arrives very soon here. And we'll probably have some, like, I'll definitely be going on vacation one of the days and all that, or one of the weeks and all that. So, I mean, we'll probably have some Halloween-y things planned that we'll bring you along for. Damon and I always go shopping and take you along for stuff like that too. So, I mean, you know, just stuff. But then in November, I have Nano month, which stands for, it's like NaNoWriMo stands for like National November Writing Month or something like that. And last year I participated. There's a whole website for it. I don't have that on hand. You could probably just Google Nano or NaNoWriMo. But the idea is to write, there's a set amount of words. I can't offhand remember, but it's quite a bit. It's a novel, basically. I felt I could only really stick to that if I wrote fan fiction. So my Nano was a fan fiction where I covered season 1 of Stranger Things and the pre and post season a little bit. My Nano this year is going to be pre and post season of season 2. So I have, during October, I'll have to plan that out, and during November, I'll be writing it. And it does pretty much take the whole month. So, I mean, I'll still be doing videos. I did videos last year too, obviously. But, so I'll be doing that. And then right after November is Vlogmas. So you'll be getting videos. I have things planned out for Vlogmas already too, and some more being planned. So it's going to be a busy end of the year for me, you guys. But yeah, fun stuff coming up. But what I was thinking is maybe for next year even starting it. But some of you guys seemed interested in talking about, like, I don't have a fancy name for it yet or anything because this is still just a planning stage, but maybe doing like some crocheting and talking about like murder mystery, serial killer type of shows, type things. I'm playing around with that idea. I don't know yet, because I probably wouldn't do, like, we've all seen and love some of the makeup and murder mystery type YouTubers, but while I could do my makeup, I can't do it as well as they can. I have not got this set up to, like, you guys don't want to be all up in my face, and that's not even this kind of channel, but I could crochet and talk to you about it. So I don't know, and it wouldn't be anything, like, I am not the researcher, I'm sure that they are, but I could talk about some things if you guys were interested in my storytelling. Just an idea. Yeah, anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there while I had your attention. And I got through some more of the blanket, so we're almost done here. I will finish the very last of this off camera and see how much of that we got. Got a whole ball, basically. It's like, all right. But thanks for hanging out with me. Once again, if you're not and you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. And I won't do the whole outro again, but at the end of the day, I will be back soon, and you know that I love you guys and that I will talk to you soon because I can't stay away. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I love you. Bye.